Youth Venture is an organization that inspires and invests in young people to launch and lead their own social ventures. Youth Venture was established in 1996 and came from insights that were generated from Ashoka, Innovators of the Public. What Ashoka is Ashoka is an organization that supports the world's leading social entrepreneurs. Muhammad Yunus, the recent winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, is actually an Ashoka Fellow and was joined into Ashoka's network of social entrepreneurs that spans the globe. Youth Venture came as a result of Ashoka's vision of an everyone a changemaker world. And what Ashoka realized was that social entrepreneurs were engaging young people in the work that they were doing. And that really, to get to a world where everyone's a changemaker, you have to start with young people. And so Youth Venture came about, and we work with 12 to 20-year-olds to have that transformative experience of launching their own social ventures. The social ventures that they launch are really wide. There's a wide range of social ventures. Some examples include B3 Skate Park, which was started by a group of teenagers in Washington. And what they did was they came up with an idea. They really enjoyed skateboarding, but they didn't have a place in their neighborhood to hang out and to do it. And so they came to Youth Venture and they told us about their idea. They filled out what we call an action plan, which is basically a business plan to help them work through their idea. And then after that process, they presented their plan to a panel. They were able to receive some startup funding to get going. Youth Venture offers up to $1,000 in startup funding to help young people get their ideas off the ground. And from there, they fundraised for the next few years, and were able to raise around $250,000 to get a 10,000 square foot skate park built in their neighborhood. That's just one example, and that example is fairly unique. On the other side of the spectrum, there's more of the kind of the business or social enterprise focus with some of the young teams that launch. I've worked with a team that started an online tutoring system because they realized that students weren't able to make tutoring sessions after school due to other commitments or just a lack of transportation. And then another example, here in the Seattle area, I've actually had the privilege of working with a young 12-year-old girl who started something called Richard's Rwanda. She started the organization, or actually club right now, which she hopes to turn into an organization, after meeting a man named Richard from Rwanda who stayed at her house and shared his experience about the genocide there. After thinking about it a little bit, she decided that she really wanted to do something, and she really wanted to help the young girls that were affected by the genocide. So she started her group, Richard's Rwanda, and her big vision is to actually have a school built over in Rwanda to help support and increase educational awareness to these young girls. So far, she's raised $7,000 to send over there to support young girls with school supplies and just to attend school. And she plans on dreaming it and doing it, just like we like to encourage them to do. So Youth Venture as an organization, in order to really get the scale, we want to launch 100,000 teams in the United States per year, and the equivalent of that in every other country that we operate in. And right now we operate in 14 countries. So the impact that Youth Venture is looking to create, or actually really the impact that young people are going to be able to have as this cultural shift takes place, is going to be enormous. The experience that young people can gain through launching and leading their own social ventures that they came up with and that they see as important is really invaluable, and something that will create a lifelong impact on them as well as the rest of the world.
How do you launch 100,000 ventures a year?
That's a good question. Yeah. Well, really, it starts with a new concept that we're going to look at with a franchise model, where really it's a model that each office will be able to operate independently, but under the Youth Venture umbrella, to really give the local support that's needed to young people that are working through the process. The young people go through a process of engaging in what we call a Dream It, Do It workshop, which is all about having them work through what they're passionate about, what they really enjoy doing. And then we move on and kind of transition into having them address what kinds of needs they see in the community. And then from there we try and help them bridge the gap and show them how they can take those two things to actually create a social venture from something that they really love doing and something that really is meaningful to them. After that workshop and after they come up with an idea, they go ahead and form their team, and it's up to them who joins their team. It has to be at least 2 people to get started, but then from there they're able to take that idea and work through our action plan, present their plan to that panel, and receive up to $1,000 so that they can really get their idea up and running. From there, the next step is really the most important step, and that's joining our global movement of young changemakers and realizing that young people all across the world are out there making a difference in their communities and completely changing the world.